You could be losing an average of 40% of your surface-applied urea or UAN investment. Don't let this happen. Protect your N investment with Agritain nitrogen stabilizer.
In agribusiness today, Dean Foods is reporting a big third quarter. The nation's largest dairy company is raising its full-year outlook. Third quarter profit hit $36 million compared to a $1.5 billion loss the same period a year ago. Dean Foods recently spun off part of its business, White Wave Foods, and is considering selling its Morningstar brand, while two key executives plan to leave the company soon. With widespread power outages still affecting parts of New York City and New Jersey because of Superstorm Sandy, it's having an impact on meat demand. But just how much? ProFarmer senior market analyst Brian Grady and news editor Julianne Johnston join us from the ProFarmer studios with a look at the impact on boxed beef demand.
Well, Julie, the Hurricane Sandy came in and blasted the East Coast and, a high densely populated area. The biggest concern on the agriculture side of things, typically when these storms hit, they hit in the Gulf and we deal with the grains. But this time around, it's meat demand because of the high population base out there and the impacts that could have. As we move forward here, we haven't seen a whole lot of impact yet, but there has been a little. Talk a little bit about that.
Choice box beef prices posted a record high prior to the storm, but when the storm hit, prices softened, the cash market softened, so we saw a limited, somewhat of an impact for prices. But at the same time, boxed beef movement really remains strong, and that's helped us to bring the market back into equilibrium.
Right, and I think that the key to how we can withstand this in the cattle and beef markets is based on the numbers. The last cattle on feed report showed the on feed numbers down 2.6% from a year ago. The cold storage report showed that beef supplies and storage are down 3% from the 5-year average. So really, from a number standpoint, it is conducive a little bit to withstanding some of the short-term pressure that we may see from a reduction in the beef demand short term anyway. What about the longer term picture?
Well, the longer term picture, like you said, we have tight supplies. And with that outlook, the boxed beef market could still stay choppy, and we're going to see cash cattle trade in the 120 area. And possibly, as the boxed beef market finds a price that consumers accept and rations this tight supply, we could see cash cattle trade move into that 130 level as we move into 2013.
Right, and I think that's the key. The number standpoint, as we move forward here, they're going to tighten up even more as we get into next year, and we will be able to withstand a short-term downturn in any beef demand from the East Coast, and then move forward as we move to our cycle high or projected cycle high in 2013. For the editors of ProFarmer and Julianne Johnston, I'm Brian Grady.
Thanks, Brian and Julianne. If you subscribe to the ProFarmer of America newsletter, here's what you can expect this week. A complete breakdown of USDA's November crop reports. Those come out later today. Thoughts on a status quo election. Argentina remains too wet, while in Brazil conditions are gradually improving. And while drought remains in the plains, the winter wheat crop is getting worse.
ProFarmer. Make great decisions and become a member today. Call or visit profarmer.com.